Okay, so have you ever like slipped on an article of clothing and it just fits perfectly?
Hmm.
And you're like, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
Like, how did they do that?
Right.
Well, we're about to uncover that magic because today's deep dive is all about the hidden world of clothing product graders.
Yeah, that's right. We're talking about these kind of unsung heroes of the fashion industry.
Yeah.
They're the ones that ensure that a designer's vision translates to a garment that fits people of all different sizes.
Right.
And let me tell you, it's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
I bet. I mean, I understand the concept of different sizes,
Right.
but what makes it so technical? Like,
Yeah.
what does a clothing product grader do all day?
Yeah. So imagine you have a designer's sketch of like this really amazing dress.
Okay.
It looks fantastic on paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to take that from a sketch to something that's hanging on a rack in a store,
Yeah.
it needs to be made for a range of sizes.
Right.
And that's where the clothing product grader steps in.
Okay.
And they use a process called grading.
Okay.
And essentially what they're doing is scaling the pattern up or down to create those different sizes.
Okay.
And it sounds simple enough, but this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay. So how is it more complicated than just like, just making it bigger or smaller?
Well, you can't just resize proportionally
Oh.
because you're dealing with the complexities of the human body.
Hmm.
For one, how fabric drapes the way we move,
Right.
Different body types, all of that comes into play.
Yeah.
And in fact, even a tiny miscalculation, I'm talking like a fraction of an inch, can drastically change the fit of a garment.
Wow. That is a level of precision I did not consider.
Yeah.
Like you're dealing with these minute details, but they have huge impacts.
Huge impacts.
No wonder it's such a specialized field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we haven't even talked about the variety of fabrics.
Oh, right.
I mean, a linen shirt and a silk blouse might technically be the same size,
Right.
but they're going to drape and fit completely differently.
Totally.
So clothing product graders really need a deep understanding of textiles
Wow.
and garment construction to be able to make those adjustments.
It's so fascinating how much goes into something we just totally take for granted.
Totally.
Like I see a shirt on a rack, I try it on, but I don't think about the journey it took to get there.
Yeah.
All the steps.
Right. And a big part of that journey these days involves specialized software programs. Because technology has really revolutionized this field,
Mm-hmm.
clothing product graders today need to be as comfortable with CAD software as they are with a measuring tape.
Wow. CAD meaning...
Computer-aided design.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like this blend of artistry and technology.
Exactly.
Yeah. And from what I'm seeing here in these sources, the software, they use programs like AccuMark and Modaris.
Yes,
These are key to creating those patterns and getting them ready for production.
absolutely. Those programs allow for a level of precision and speed
Right.
that you just couldn't achieve with manual methods alone.
Wow.
So this is where the art of understanding fit and fabric meets the science of those technical skills and software expertise.
That's a fascinating balance.
Yeah.
It's like they're the interpreters between the designer's creative vision
Mhm.
and the realities of, manufacturing something across sizes and fabrics.
Yeah,
Wow.
it really is. And to give you a sense of, what this career path actually looks like,
Okay.
I found this really interesting example on RoleCatcher.
Okay.
They actually profiled an entry-level clothing product grader.
Oh, cool.
So someone just starting out in the field.
Okay, that's helpful.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to talk about these concepts in the abstract,
Right.
but to actually have a real world example
Yeah,
makes it much more tangible.
exactly.
So what kind of background does this person have?
Well, they highlight their hands-on experience with pattern drafting,
Okay.
both the traditional way and using software like we discussed.
Right.
And then they make it clear that they understand the core function of grading, mentioning their comfort with scaling those patterns for different sizes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So even right out of the gate, you need that combination of
Yeah,
practical skills
Mhm.
and software knowledge.
for sure.
I imagine there's a bit of a learning curve with those industry standard programs.
Oh, absolutely. And this person actually emphasizes the importance of staying updated on the latest software and techniques.
Right.
But what really struck me was how they balanced those technical skills with this clear passion for fit and fabric.
Oh, cool.
They even mentioned working with models and mannequins,
Okay.
which tells me they really have that eye for how garments actually look on the body.
It brings up kind of an interesting question.
Yeah,
Is this something that you can learn purely from a textbook?
that's a good question.
Or do you need a natural sense of design
Right.
and how clothes should fit on people?
Yeah, I'd say it's a bit of both.
Okay.
You can definitely learn the technical aspects,
Right.
the math behind grading the ins and outs of the software,
Sure.
but that innate sense of design, that feel for drape and proportion, that's definitely really valuable in this field.
Yeah.
It's probably what separates a good clothing product grader from a truly great one.
It makes you wonder if somebody who maybe struggled with algebra
Yeah.
but excelled in their sewing class could still thrive in this career.
Absolutely. There are multiple paths into this field.
Okay.
Some people might come from a more technical background. Maybe they studied pattern making or even engineering.
Oh, wow.
And then other people might have a background in fashion design and discover a passion for this more technical side of things.
Okay, so for those listening who might be thinking,
Yeah.
hey, this sounds like me. This could be my dream job.
Right.
Where do they even begin?
Oh, the advice from RoleCatcher really resonated with me.
Okay.
They said, gain as much hands-on experience as possible.
Okay.
Internships, apprenticeships, even entry-level jobs in the fashion industry.
You're like, just get some experience under your belt,
Exactly. And while you're kind of immersing yourself in that world, don't neglect those technical skills,
Right.
Familiarize yourself with those industry standard software programs. It's like learning the language of the trade.
Totally. You wouldn't show up to a pottery class not knowing how to work a pottery wheel. But it's not all about, technical prowess.
Right.
RoleCatcher mentioned networking.
Oh, absolutely.
As well, like attending these industry events,
Yeah.
connecting with people already working in the field.
Yeah. You never know what opportunities might arise from those connections.
It's like they always say, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
But in this case, it seems like it's a little of both.
It's a healthy dose of both.
Yeah.
And speaking of, those winning formulas,
Yeah.
the next time you find yourself admiring a beautifully tailored garment,
Right.
just, take a moment to think about the clothing product grader.
Yeah.
Who played a crucial role in its creation.
It's true. It makes you really appreciate the artistry and the expertise behind something we really just take for granted. I mean, we've all had those moments of frustration when something doesn't fit right.
Right.
But we rarely consider the opposite.
Yeah, like all the work that goes into it.
The meticulous work to make sure it does.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's this hidden world of precision and passion. Blending creativity with technical mastery.
It's so cool.
And, as technology continues to evolve, who knows what kind of innovations we'll see in the way that clothing is designed, graded, and manufactured.
That's exciting to think about.
Yeah.
Well, this deep dive has definitely given me a whole new perspective on the fashion industry and the skilled professionals working behind the scenes to make sure we all look and feel our best.
That's what I love about these deep dives.
Yeah.
We uncover these hidden worlds.
Yeah.
We learn about these fascinating careers that, maybe we never even considered before.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe this sparked an interest in someone listening.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a budding clothing product grader out there.
That's right.
About to, discover their passion.
Yeah.
It's out there.
And for anyone listening who's intrigued by this world of, fit and fabric and design, I encourage you to keep exploring. You never know where that curiosity might lead you.
Right.
Maybe you'll be the one creating those perfectly fitting garments that make people say, how did they do that?
Exactly.